Welcome back to BallySpring. Now I've got something really exciting to show you today. So we've got to go and pick up a tractor to, we're doing, I think it's using a spader, I think it's called. We're making the big grooves ready for either the carrots or the beetroot, and I haven't decided which still yet. That we're going to be putting in one of our paddocks. And also, I've decided, so the two crop paddocks I've got on this farm, because remember this is primarily a dairy farm, so two crop paddocks. I'm going to do one either in carrots or beetroot, and I still haven't decided which, but they both need the same prep and they both get planted at the same time, so it doesn't really matter which. And the other one I'm going to do in winter wheat, which can be planted tomorrow, so it can grow over the winter. But first of all, I'm going to go and show you what I've done. Now, technically this has cost me nothing, because what I did is before I built it, I wrote down what my overdraft was on and also what my bank balance was, and then I just loaded up the money, loaded up my loan as much as needed to build it, and then after I'd finished it, I went and changed everything back to how it went, changed my overdraft amount and my bank account back to what it was. It will cost me money because I'm not actually going to be working it as such. It's just for decoration, but it cost about 1.4 million to build, just if anyone has any interest in that. But this paddock here, so if I skip to the map for a second, we'll go down here. So paddocks 248 and 250 here, I don't actually use as part of my farm. I had to buy them because if I go here for a second, they come with these other paddocks here, which I have got as part of my farm. So if I wanted paddocks 249 and 251 as part of my farm, which I did, I had to get 248 and 250 with them because that's the way they go. They sell those two together. I don't actually treat these ones as part of my farm, but I'll show you what I've done. I've had the local council who needed gravel for roads in the area, so they have taken a 3-year lease on this paddock off me, and they are mining it. And they've promised that when they've finished the mining, although the paddock will be a lot lower than it was because they would have taken out all that gravel under the earth and things, that they will replant grass seed in here for me. So it'll just be a much lower paddock with grass seed planted in it. So I'm happy with that. So this is a mine that I made. As I said, it cost about 1.4 million to make it. Most of that money went in the groundwork, actually making the ground down lower like this. Then some into painting, some into attaching that mine there, and a wee bit into just buying the Volvo vehicles there. Now the Volvos, because I do own them technically, although I'm not treating them as mine, it means I will be paying money, maintenance money on them each day. You can see the number plate I've chosen for the mining vehicles, DI66ING. I'm sure you can work out what that is. So I try and have nice personalised plates for all my vehicles. Now one thing I discovered is that yes, you can climb these stairs all the way to the top, but believe it or not, I actually don't like heights in real life. And when you go too far up here, it actually gets quite freaky, even though it's only on a screen. So I'm not going, I've done it once, I've wandered up there once, I'm not going to do it again now. If people really want to see what it looks like from the top there, then I will go up the top there in the next video, just to show you, but otherwise it can just stay there. But so yes, this is a paddock in my farm which I've leased out to the local roading contractor for the next 3 years to mine for gravel, to which is used to make the tar seal for the local roads. So that's a big change on this map that I've done. I was quite impressed that A, I thought of doing it, and B, that I managed to pull it off and make something that I was happy with. As I said, we won't actually be doing any mining, it's really just all entirely there for decoration. Now, we're going to head up to Eustace Farmer's place again. We're buying his big tractor today because we need the one with the with all the power for doing the spading. I think it's called spading. It's when you make the big grooves that the beetroot or carrots get planted in. It's much too early to plant them at the moment. I think they get planted about March from memory. It's only August. I just want to get the groundwork all prepped ready for it, because next month, so I'm doing 2 day months here, it's the 2nd of August now, so next month on the 1st of September we're going to have a lot of grass work to do. There's a lot of grass to be mown, plus in September I have to plant my winter wheat. So because we're going to be pretty busy, I don't want to run out of time, so that's why we're going to do the spade work ready for the carrots or beetroot now. Now I'm aware this motorbike's a bit loud, and so normally I don't really ride this one very much when I'm recording, just because it does have quite a loud engine noise. But I discovered, and I should have remembered this, because I'm pretty sure that when Fury had this tractor before he sold it to Eustace, Fury discovered the same thing. I have to go back and have a look at his video again, but I'm pretty sure that he did discover this. But anyway, the tractor that Fury sold to Eustace must have a hole in the muffler or something, so it's a very, very loud tractor. So I figured, well, I might as well use the loud motorbike then, because if things are too loud, you're going to have to turn down your volume a wee bit anyway. I've checked that it's not going to be too incredibly loud. I don't think it is, but apologies if it is. Just turn down your volume if it is, as I said. Okay, so this is Fury's new tractor. He told us he'd leave the keys in it for us. Let's check it. Yeah, and this one, so the way I normally do it on my maps is for smaller tractors I just have a right hand side beacon, because that's on the outside as you're driving along the left hand lane of the road. For larger tractors I have 2 beacons. So because this is the largest tractor in the area by a long chalk, in fact Eustace now owns the 2 largest tractors in the area and the only 4-wheel drive tractors in the area. He's got this Steyr, he's also got the Fiat 180/90. So both of those two have 2 beacons on them, because like all my tractors just have the one. So I'm just going to go along here. I'm going to have to hire the spader, because even Eustace doesn't own one of those. I didn't think I'd be doing vegetables often enough to make it worth the while buying one. But if I discover that I do them more often, then I might just buy one for Eustace to have, and the seeds that would go along with it. Now I'm going to need to buy some more money, I think. So, oh, there's not the one for money, it's that one. Another 5 grand. Thank you, Mr. Bank Manager. And then, now, interesting enough, one thing I discovered, and I never knew this about the game, but I'd never gone looking for it either, so I didn't know exactly how it worked, is, as I said, that gravel mine, cost about 1.4 million to make, and I did that by copying down what my bank balance was and also what my overdraft was before I started it, then borrowing as much money as I needed and sticking my money back to what it was after I'd finished. But I discovered that there seems to be absolutely no limit whatsoever to how much the bank's willing to loan you in the game, because quite frankly the amount of money I'm making all the time, it's very slow going in this map, well, it's very slow going on all my maps, but there's no way any bank in their right mind would lend me 1.4 million. So I wasn't actually sure when I started doing it whether I'd be able to borrow enough money to get it all done, or whether I'd have to go in and actually give myself money rather than just borrowing it and then again going and changing it all back afterwards. But no, the bank was willing to lend me as much as I wanted, so I was able to get that done. Now it does occur to me, because I know we were talking on one of AK's videos the other day about maybe how it'd be quite good to have a church mod where you can go and donate money at the local church in order to get rid of money when you actually building up too much, because the thing with Farming Simulator is it can be a real financial struggle trying to get ahead on hard mode and things. But once you've finally actually got slightly ahead, you've got the overdraft or the loan paid off, and you're beginning to make money, it suddenly starts coming in very, very fast, way too fast. You end up becoming multi-millionaires in a reasonable length of time. So, it would be quite nice to be able to get rid of some money, and I actually think that building a gravel pit like that might be the way to go about it, given the lack of the church mod that we're discussing. Now we're going to go up this far corner to start this, and the reason for that is because even though this field that we're doing in carrots / beetroot, haven't decided which yet still, is on the edge of the map, it makes sense if the grooves that this is going to create would run parallel with the edge of the paddock thing. But they don't. I want them to look right, so I'm just going to start in this corner, and we will adjust the angle of our tractor depending on, I think I've got it about right now. Oops, wrong thing. But if I haven't, then we will make a small adjustment as needed. Okay, just going to, now, even though it means I'm getting less crop in my field by doing it this way, I'm leaving edges at the edge of the field like this, especially at the ends, because I remember from the first time I did this, which was also the last time, that the equipment actually takes quite a lot of space to turn around, so I don't want to be planting right up to the edge of my fields. Now, am I going with, there we go, got the track not too much of an angle there. Oh, look at that. This time it's running parallel to the field. I'm certain that last time I had to angle it, but it didn't. And this time, look at that, it's running perfectly parallel to the field. The edge of the field. Well, that's good. I'm glad it's running parallel. So we'll just go down here. I might just tidy up the edge a wee bit. See, down here, are they? And again, we'll stop a wee bit short of the edge of the field there to give our equipment some space to turn around in. Yay. I think I want you to put lights on here, in fact. Okay, yeah. So I want the edge of the field to be straight so I can get it, but of course I'm not using any GPS mods or anything like that, so okay, so lower this down here. So that keep the tractor perfectly straight now. I might end up with a perfectly straight edge to my field, to my rows. That's the plan at any rate. Hopefully that will pan out. We're obviously not going to get this field finished on camera today because it took too long showing you the mining things, but that's alright, I can finish it offline. Happy to do that. I must admit, I do really like this tractor, the way it looks really old and things. So I don't want it on my own farms, it's just way too big for what I want on a dairy farm, but it is a lovely mod. I think I mentioned before that I actually started quite some time ago downloading FS25 mods, so that when I do feel ready to swap over and start playing FS25, I don't have to go looking for all the mods I might need, because some of them I'll already have downloaded. I have found in FS25 a John Deere tractor that's very similar to this, insofar as it's all faded paint and chipped paint and things, and that's the way the mod's been done. So I've got that one downloaded, and I don't normally use John Deere tractors. I don't know, just the colours don't really do it for me. I prefer using either Case or New Holland or something like that. But this one, because it's got the old chipped paint and things like that, it will definitely be finding its way onto my FS25 map, if indeed I ever get an FS25 map. I'm seriously thinking though, just based on some of the stuff I've seen, that when, I think in November, I think from memory, the Scottish map comes out, which has the fishing in it. So that may be the point that I start an FS25 map. But I'm also thinking, because I'm really enjoying all 6 maps I'm playing on FS22 here, so I'm actually leaning towards, even if I do go on to FS25, I might just keep some of these FS22 maps going and keep some FS22 videos going, as well as FS25 videos. And obviously these things are up for decision making at the time, but that's what I'm leaning towards at the moment. And yes, so my plans kind of at the moment are that we will probably try an FS25 map once this Scottish map with the fishing comes out, and we may stick with it, as well as the FS22 here, or we may decide no, still not ready to move on yet, and the map doesn't make it worth it, I don't know. So okay, as you can see, the ends of the field aren't going to be all even, and that's because the field's not square, so I don't want to waste too much paddock not being used, but I'm trying to keep the 2 long edges perfectly straight at any rate. I think I've achieved it on that one that we've just done. We won't know about the other edge until we get there, which will be offline. So yes, as I was going to also mention, just quickly before the video ends, my plans for this weekend. So I'm actually being a very naughty boy this weekend. I'm skipping church because today, it's Saturday here today, I thought I'd make this video, then I'm going out to a show which I'm not displaying in, I'm going to look at, which is a show put on by the International Plastic Modelers Society. So if you've ever seen those like plastic kit sets made by Tamiya and Monogram and things like that, it's people that build those, they've got a display on, and I used to build those when I was much younger. So when I saw that they had a display on this weekend, I thought, oh, I'd love to go to that. So we'll be going to that this morning after I finish this video. Then I have to come home and I've got to pack Lego, because I've got a Lego show tomorrow. But the Lego show that's on tomorrow is at a reasonably small country place called Masterton. So because, you know, it's a reasonably small place, it's held in the local high school or college, and as well as being a Lego show, it's also a show for trucks, hot rods, custom cars, anything exciting on wheels basically. They're all going to be displayed out in the fields, and then the Lego's going to be displayed in the hall. So I got hold of the organisers when I registered to display Lego there, and I said, look, I've also got a couple of matching redhead twins, being like MX5s, would you like me to bring those along as well? And they were like, oh yes please, definitely do. So this afternoon I also need to clean both cars ready for, because I'm not only displaying Lego tomorrow, I'm also displaying the cars. Now, my wife's actually away this weekend, she's gone away marching, so I'm taking her car to this Lego / car show, and I've got a good friend from work who's going to take my car over. So yeah, I need to get both of them cleaned this afternoon, as well as all my Lego that I'm taking to the show all packed. And that's my plans for tomorrow. That's going to be an all-day thing. I'll be leaving home at 5:30 tomorrow morning, and I won't be getting back until at least 6 PM. But fortunately for me, next weekend is in New Zealand a 3-day weekend. We have a public holiday for Labour Day, I believe, next Monday. So although I'm going to have a very busy weekend, I'm going to be very tired come Monday morning. I do only have to work 5 days, and I'll get 3 days off instead of the normal 2 days I normally get off. So on that note, we might finish this row up here, and then I might just call it a day on the video. I'll probably finish this field offline if I can. Well, I may finish that later on as well, because I do need to get going with all the other stuff I want to get done today. Things, but geez, we may just when I've finished making this video in a minute, just upload it, then quit the computer and go and start getting stuff done. I need to get stuff done, in which case we may even be spading next time I do a video, but more than likely not, because I'll do another video today if I have time, since the wife's away, so I actually have the peace and quiet and things to be able to get it done. But I don't think I'm going to have time, in all honesty. So I think this will be the only video this weekend, and I'm not sure when I'll get around to having time to finish all this. So I never even looked up what this thing's called. Is it a spader? Or is a spader more like a flower for a thing? I'm not sure. I'm just going to have a quick look there. What did they call it there? It was under vegetables. Oh, they don't call it anything, that's handy. Doesn't even have a description there, so I'm not sure what it's called. I call it a spader. But if I've got that completely wrong, please feel free to write in the comments what this piece of equipment's really called that makes all the deep grooves in the ground ready for the vegetables to be planted. Okay, thanks. Bye.